I bring greetings from the Wits University fraternity. Wits is a massive institution and it's backing this initiative, particularly the Center for the Study of US. We as Wits Business School, my name is Maurice Radebe. I'm the head of the school and I am fully behind this initiative. We are operating in the heartland of Africa's economic hub, and we believe we're leading in research, particularly in areas of critical and sustainable growth. During the pandemic, you would know that we led in the vaccine research as an institution, and any challenge that is facing Africa, that is our mission, to make sure that all challenges that are facing the continent, whether it's poverty, inequality, diseases, ignorance, even peace, is these issues we need to do. As WBS, from a business point of view, we play a significant role in equipping leaders of tomorrow and leaders of today by giving them skills and in making sure that they understand their role and the significance of their role in a continuously changing world. We at the business school are clear of our vision, but as a leading business school, firmly embedded amongst the best in the world. We like to produce agile leaders in this world, and particularly ethical leaders. As you know, I don't need to remind you, in our country, corruption is so cancerous that if we're not careful, it's going to kill the body politic of our nation and in our continent. We would like to promote also critical thinking. That is why we're part of this initiative, because it is important to think critically, innovate, and more importantly, sustainability. And also, working with this initiative, we would like to produce cutting-edge research addressing the pressing challenges of our continent. I've already mentioned them. Through teaching, research, social engagement, Wits and Wits Business School, and the Center for Study of the US, we would like to play a critical role also in transforming South Africa and the continent. We know that Africa is attractive as an emerging market, as an investment opportunity, and it's got the youngest population. But we know that the pandemic has set us back quite seriously. We must admit that. The academic exacerbated the challenges that we have already. The challenges of poverty, challenges of health, poor management of our health system. All these things we need to play a role, and I believe this initiative, together collaboratively, we will be able to do that. The story of Africa Rising and Africa Open for Business, it is a story that we must make sure it happens. It not only is a story that is just being talked about in theoretical and journals and in academic papers, but it must be a story that becomes reality for the sake of our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. This promise must come to real. We believe that African countries are now favoring trade over aid. Let me pause there because this is very important. I've been a development practitioner for over 3 decades now. I've been involved with a lot of African aid organization and roles and departments. And let's be honest and be robust about that. Aid created a dependency syndrome. And we just cannot afford to have that continuing with aid. And we need to reimagine and repurpose it. And therefore trade becomes important so that it becomes a mutually beneficial relationship and a mutually empowering relationship. Otherwise, the negative perceptions that continues in the continent around US will continue. And therefore, it is our role to make sure that we promote trade, mutually beneficial trade, and particularly local empowerment, as well as local production and beneficiation and creation of jobs in our continent. The fact that the vaccine, for instance, has really created a vaccine diplomacy and vaccine politics is an issue that we need to tackle together as the university, research it together with the center, and WBS, we're very keen to play a role there, play a pivotal role in redefining the U.S. Engagement in Africa and engage in robust discussion about redefining that, repurposing it, and making sure that it is a relationship that is mutually beneficial. As you know, that there's so many U.S. companies in Africa, and they've been here for many, many years. And some of us know them personally, some of them work with them, some of them we serve on their boards. And it's very important that we continuously ask ourselves, particularly American companies and U.S. companies, are we, in this day and age, fulfilling the mandate that this continent needs? Obviously, successful diversification, expansion is required, and growth is required in order for economic opportunities to emerge and to create jobs. We need jobs desperately to make sure that we've got efficient value chains that are relevant to the continent. I mean, the value chains that we've been having decades now are value chains which I call them from port to pit, from pit to port. So if it's an extractive industry, I've been in the energy industry for 3 decades, so I have a good sense of what I'm talking about. Once there is a hole there and you're digging, whatever you dig, whether it's gas, oil, or mine, it's there. Value chain is just take it out, extract it, and the value chains take it straight to port and then take it out and export. We cannot continue with that. We have to change it. That mindset. We have to change that model. We have to think about how we're going to beneficiate locally, how we're going to create jobs, how we're going to make sure that we all are winning. We at WBS are very proud of the fact that we're part of the association with this initiative. We feel honored. We think we can play a role because 45% of our academic staff right now, as I speak, 45% are from all over the continent. So we're a very diversified team of academics that got capacity and understanding of the continent. Therefore, production of knowledge in terms of research, of U.S.-Africa business linkages, we are keen and to support that initiative. We have a team that have a good understanding of the emerging market. We've got people who are studying that, teaching that. We've got an MBA class that has got a module which is basically teaching students how to operate in Africa, how to do business in Africa, what are the challenges in Africa, what are the risks inherent in doing business in Africa, what are the attitudes, what is the approach, what is the ethical and cultural approaches that you need to understand when you're doing business in Africa. That module is there and we are keen to expand it. Understanding the geography and the sectoral location in the understanding the regulation policy, governance requirements in the continent. We teach this and we continue to develop knowledge and research on this. Developing scenarios, and we've got a case study center that is generating case studies, and we want to continue to write case studies. So that's what we, together with the Center for Africa's, for the U.S. Studies, we would like to expand that, and I believe we will be able to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to conclude by really giving an applause to this initiative. I really congratulate you, and particularly the organizing committee that has been working so hard to get it up and going, and then inviting the Wits Business School to come and become a partner in this. I can assure you we will be a partner. We will be all our hands on deck. And as the head of the school, I'm happy to commit our resources, our academic team, our postdoctoral student, our research capacity, and our case studies to support this initiative. Thank you very much.